Hey guys, welcome back. It is time. We're going to take a look at some more Reddit threads. We're going to see if the advice given in those Reddit threads is sound. We're going to see what the newbies are up to, what maybe some of the people that are pretending to be experts are up to. Regardless, we're going to look through whatever I saw that was interesting. We opened them up in new tabs. We're going to make our way through. But before we do, a little friendly reminder that pre-orders for Obsidian Flames are currently running. There are less than 90 booster boxes on psapikachu.com. Suggest you guys get on there and grab them if you want them. Not bad. $114.99 USD per box. That's there's no code required. Sweet deals for all. If you're in Canada, if you're in the US, go to psapikachu.com. If you're in Canada, you can go to dosecards.ca. And yes, that is Canadian pricing before somebody freaks out in the comments section down below. The Canadian dollar sucks. We suck. Canadians, we're sucking right now in terms of our dollarinos. But regardless, you can use code RATTLE5 to save 5% on dose. Now, we're getting into the Reddit posts. r/Pokemon TCG. This first one here, I just thought this was kind of funny, kind of cool. I don't know. Can anyone speak to this? Does anyone know if you put an actual like Urshifu in the deck here, is it supposed to line up so that his head is kind of peeking out, and except it still works with like full art trainers and stuff? Is that what's going on here? Was it designed to house your Urshifu? I'd like to see if it does, and I'd like to see if there are any other trainers and stuff like that that are a little weird. But let's see if there's anything funny in the comments. We got a Lamau. We got a Hey Some Guys Like a Lady Who Can Lift. We got a Urshifu. I think that might be the top comment of the video. And this is it. Regardless, a funny little gag. Funny little gag to start off the video here. Now, there's, for whatever reason, today the topics have been heavily in the what condition is this? Is this real kind of stuff that we're going to take a look at. So I think this is probably pretty useful. This type of video is pretty useful for people that are new to the hobby, or I guess just interesting for anyone that's not new to the hobby that has seen this stuff before, to just kind of see. It's always good to take a step back and wonder, like, hey, if I didn't know what was going on, if I was just getting into Pokemon, what am I looking at here? You have people like this making posts that say, a seller on TCG Player adamantly argued this card is near mint. Curious to hear your thoughts. So, I mean, this also could just be someone that's just seeking approval of others and pretending that they don't really know whether this is near mint or not. Clearly not near mint. I would say anything that has a crease. Again, the damage scale, when you're selling this type of stuff, if it's anything expensive, if it's anything damaged, if it's anything damaged that has any sort of damage or something that people could complain about, it's best to just take photos of it and sell it if you're going to sell it on TCG Player or eBay. That way there's no debating. You don't put near mint, don't put light play minus, don't put light play minus 69 wiener baby to the extreme. It doesn't matter. You just let them determine what the condition is. Take some nice photos. Turn the fucking lights on. Do what you got to do to make it so that people can see the damage. If there's damage on the card, take specific photos to make sure that damage is shown, like the crease here, or the little ding on the bottom, and you won't have issues. You basically will never have issues if you just show what it is. People can see what it is. If they can't, that's kind of on them. But typically. So here in the comment section, we got that's moderate/heavy play. So borderline damage. No, it's definitely damaged. It's damaged in some way, but at the same time, you should just be selling this with photos. I don't know how much these are at the moment. They weren't very expensive before, but they might be getting more expensive in price here. So yeah, that's definitely some heavy play. We got a crease. We got some extreme whitening. So some of the XY cards, they had whitening out of the pack. They kind of curled over. Burning Shadows was kind of really bad for that too. But yeah, a lot of the EXs, like the full art EXs and stuff like that, they were pretty bad. A lot of them were pretty bad and sometimes you had a little bit of whitening around the edges because of the way the cards were cut. They almost kind of like the blades were dull, or they kind of folded the corners over. So the exact opposite of Hidden Fates was the opposite way. So it was like cutting back to front. But yeah, this is definitely a played copy. This is definitely something that you're going to want to take photos like the ones that are taken here. You don't necessarily need to circle anything, I don't think. But we got some. If it was just these scratches that we're seeing on the card and not the dents and dings and whitening, you could probably get away with like a light play or something like that. But again, as soon as you start getting some creases, as soon as when you're missing almost the whole corner of blue here. Yeah, I'd say she gone. She's in bad shape. But yeah, not near mint. Don't call stuff near mint. The only time I ever call stuff near mint is if I have like multiples of something, and it's like straight from a pack, and there's no like glaring issue straight from the pack. I'll just call it near mint for the sake of search results. But outside of that, anything below near mint, even if it's the most generic light played card that's ever been called light play, and no one is ever going to argue on it, if it's something that's worth selling, I'm just going to show the damage, and that's it. I'm not going to put light play in the title. I'm not going to say it's light play in the description. I'm not going to lightly play with it. It's just, this is what it is. Here's the damage. See the pictures. Judge for yourself. And then, you know, you only have yourself to blame if you can see the damage, and you can call it whatever you want. You own the card now. You can call it light play. You can call it near mint, whatever you want to do with it. You can sleep with it at night. If you need to, you can put it under your pillow, and the Tooth Fairy can come by and put it in her Tooth Fairy Pokemon binder. Now, next post we have, just realized the Unknown V alt art has its second move spelled out in its art. Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's a lot of alt arts and a lot of cards that kind of get looked over that have kind of little secrets in them. I guess this is not super duper secret, because I mean, it's kind of, pun intended, spelled right out in front of you. But it's cool to look at this stuff. There's a lot of extra effort and care and attention that is put into certain artworks that people kind of just, you know, brush off as, who gives a shit? It's a fucking Unknown V. What the hell am I gonna, why is it an alt art? But at the same time, very cool card. I think it's awesome. Next, since I didn't want to pay $150 plus for a 151 booster box, so we got some singles purchased here. Singles are definitely going to be the way to go. We're going to touch on this a little bit more, I think, on some of the other posts that are in here. Oh, actually, no. Right after we take a look at this, we're going to touch on this. We're gonna use the, okay, we're trying to save money game. Guys, the new shiny thing is going to have new shiny thing premium attached to it. 151 boxes in Japanese at the moment, even 151 singles at the moment, are higher than they're going to be in the future. You got to remember, sets like this, just take a look around. Take a look to your left, take a look to your right. Anything to do with a Pokemon community of any sort. How horny is everyone for 151? Everyone is. Everyone wants to open the living hell out of it. It's going to be like celebrations, stuff like that, where people are just going to, they want to open 1 billion of it. The singles are going to be very cheap. Same thing with English 151. Even if it somehow is limited on release to the point that like people just can't get enough of it, they're going to trickle that stuff out. It's probably going to be on shelves for a year or more. I would be very, very surprised if it wasn't. We've seen a few restocks with the Pokemon Center already. I know people were like just pissing their pants, freaking out about how like the Pokemon Center was sold out of ETBs. They restocked them once or twice now, I think. UPCs, I think, as well. They restocked at one point in time. They'll probably have some on launch. They might even restock them after the initial like launch day or whatever. Chill. It's going to be all right. Grab those if you can. You don't have to pay for the pre-orders on the Pokemon Center. 151 in English, guys, reminder, is only coming out in September. So no, you should not be paying to reserve a box at this point in time. You got lots of time to do so. Just hold on. Just wait it out. It's going to be all right. But yeah, I think the price on the Japanese singles have already kind of come down quite a ways. But again, it's just like there's still product out there. There's still product being opened. It's going to be available. So if you want to save money, buy singles. If you want to save even more money, wait and buy the singles. Just when it's not the new shiny thing. Right now, it's the new shiny thing. 151 right now everyone has a boner for it. Everyone in existence, English as well. Please, for the love of God, don't buy someone's pre-orders for 151 English. Chill. Good move. I'll maybe rip 2 boxes when the prices go down. For now, I'm happy with the purchase. So that's the thing. Like, you gotta, if you're on a budget, sometimes you just have to sacrifice the fact that you just don't open. It's not like, yes, opening is fun. If you enjoy it, if the price is worth it for you, open the box, whatever you got to do. The Japanese booster boxes at the moment are absolutely terrifying in terms of getting resealed stuff, depending on where you get it. Where you get it is the biggest key, so be careful with that. All right, celebrations. Now, comparison time. You're going to say, Rattle, you're full of shit. What are you talking about? Celebrations is not cheap. So usually here, it's a sign when you're scrolling through here, and the first page is almost entirely, we're sorting by price high to low. The first page is mostly all product. So yes, you got your Charizard at your 65 bucks. I don't know how much. What was the peak of this thing? This thing was expensive at one point in time. I want to say it was at least 100 bucks at the height of heights. Celebrations was like a weird thing where English celebrations, you could open it on release if you got it for, regular price, and you could make money. Well, maybe don't make money, but it'd be pretty break even, which is a very rare thing to see, where the expected value of the contents was the price of the pack. So like even those full art Pikachus, those were like $5. So like you open one of those, if there's a Pikachu, if it's a flying, if it's a extended art base set Pikachu, any of those Pikachus basically paid for the pack. It was kind of free tendies. To an extent. And again, now look where we're at. Okay, so we have Charizard here, who's 65 bucks. Sweet. I don't know, maybe that's not the near mint one, but regardless, under 100 bucks. So at this point in time, probably definitely not worth opening this stuff. This gold Mew, remember we had people stealing these, everything else. These were expensive at one point in time as well. We got as low as $15. Do we got to open this up and see how much it is for a near mint copy? Near mint copy? Okay, so we're down to like 31 bucks. So maybe the Charizard is actually in around like 80 bucks. But regardless, if you're looking for the card, if you need the card for your set, if you really just want the card, this is probably when you're buying celebration singles. I think even, yeah, it looks like they were down even lower than that. So they were down to like 30 bucks. So it's a couple bucks. It's up a couple bucks. We've got a little bit of a back and forth here. Guys, still celebrations. Still celebrations product on the shelves. We got these Sylveon and the Charizard boxes that are still going out for retail. Remember we had the Umbreon Gold Star reprint. 17 bucks market price. So again, pretty crazy. That instead of buying your 1999 Celebrations mini tin, you just buy the Umbreon or the Mew. Well, Mew might be, I guess it's 1.5 tins worth. You're gonna open this tin. There's no way you're getting these bad boys. Well, there's not no way you're getting these bad boys, but chances are you're deleting money by opening these packs at this point in time. Again. Celebrations, like the other mega ultra excited 151 Kanto Gen 1er sets that are overhyped, that people are just foaming to open, enough of it is going to get opened that the singles are going to absolutely get deleted. So like Shining Magikarp, $8. Why do I have celebrations? We got Dragon Ball cards that are more expensive than the and then everything just falls off a cliff here, like $8, $5, $5, $5 for a Blastoise, that kind of thing. So I think this is going to be the same thing we're going to see with 151. There are very hard to pull cards. Some of these like classic collection cards, like your Charizard. I never end up pulling the Charizard. Your Ray and stuff like that. It was pretty hard to complete. We'll have to see how 151 is in terms of like pull rates and stuff like that. But again, it's going to be one of those things where I think just so much of it is going to be opened that you don't have to worry about finishing it. You don't have to worry about opening a lot of it if you're trying to do it cost effectively. Okay, now posted by UPON. There's certain stuff that you can open and not get absolutely obliterated. But if you're opening celebrations at this point in time, you're getting wrecked. So it's good to take a look at what you can possibly pull, how hard that stuff is to pull before you start opening things. And Again, opening things is usually financially a bad idea, but yeah, you can at least get a pretty good grasp for how much money you're going to lose by opening certain stuff. All right, we have u/pun_ishmint 6 hours ago said, just found out about this card. Does anyone know the backgrounds of it, and why is it so hard to find a near mint copy of it? So with anything in any language, if you know what language it is, with the Japanese promos, you're going to want to Google search 155/XY-P. That's going to bring you exactly where you need to be, what you need to know. Promos, sometimes print runs, certain sets, whatever it is. If it's hard to find a near mint copy, it's probably just print quality. That, or if it's a limited item, or if it just wasn't valued, depending on how it was distributed, that can pretty much tell you. We got people saying, yes, the background has a shiny Ray, a Lugia, and a Mega Latios giving a ride to Pikachu. Never noticed the Lugia in the back. Thank you. So here we go. We got somebody that knows what they're doing, knows how to Google. It was given away to moviegoers in Japan in 2015. It was a promotion for the movie Hoopa and the Clash of Ages. One reason for its scarcity might be because they only produced 3 million copies of the card. So, I mean, 3 million copies is a lot of copies of a card. It's got popular Pokemon on it. I mean, a lot of those, given out at movies were probably kids that just demolished the thing. So here, Google. And if we need to, I mean, typically we're just going to search 155/XY-P, and that'll bring up here price charting. Okay. Anyway, what you're looking for is this like Bulba Garden, your Bulbapedia. For the most part, anything Japanese or anything that you need to look up, there's going to at least be some kind of information on it. If Bulbapedia doesn't come up, you can just type in Bulbapedia with the number on the card itself, and it'll tell you what it is. We click in here, it shows us a picture, it shows us the card type, it shows us the translation, but also it'll usually have like a release information here. It says, in Japan, this card was available as a XY-P promotional card and was given away together with a promotional Hoopa Treta at participating cinemas screening Hoopa and the Clash of Ages, which premiered on July 18th, 2015. The giveaway was limited to the first 3 million patrons nationwide. The Japanese movie logo is featured towards the bottom right corner of the card. So, I mean, if it's, I don't even know how much this card is worth, but sometimes if it's just an older card, if it's not like a super popular card, there's probably lots of places where you can find these for sale, but you might have to do some digging and have some expertise in finding them on Japanese websites where it's a Japanese exclusive card. Then that's kind of what it comes down to. So if people didn't buy it and aren't reselling it in the West, that could be why you're just not seeing them. Also, if they're just randomly opened into collections, I'm pretty sure it was in like a cello wrap with another little card within it. But yeah, that's why. But again, the print quality could have been just bad. The cuts or something like that could have been bad. It could just have scratches, whatever. Sometimes there's issues with certain stuff that gets printed, and sometimes it's with all of it. All right, we have Mail Day Sunbreon. Very clever. I like the pun there. That's why it's included in the video. Next, we have somebody who says, guy wants $300 for the whole binder. So careful, guys. If you're buying collections, collections are definitely, I tell this to people all the time, in terms of if you're looking for an affordable way to have an awesome collection, buying collections, keeping some of it, selling off the rest of it to make your money back, rinse and repeat. If you can make extra money and buy a bigger collection the next time, that kind of stuff is usually the most. You can basically do Pokemon for free. Yes, you're going to need the money up front to be able to buy a collection, at least a single collection, but that's usually the best way. But you got to be careful. You got to know what you're looking at. Regardless, I tell you guys this all the time. You need to know what you're looking at if you're buying expensive stuff, or a mixture of what looks like is the sweetest deal of all time. You got to familiarize yourself with what fake cards look like, and you got to be careful that somebody doesn't sneak in some fake cards. So this is one of those examples. Somebody that's wanting $300 for a binder that's clearly worth way more than that. Somebody that has opened a lot of recent sets that should know the value of a lot of this stuff. There's certain cards This Charizard, I can tell you even without even looking these up that we got some fakes on our hands here. And this is one of those examples where it's probably the like Alibaba, Etsy, cheapy weepy fakes that they got stuck in the binder here with the Crystal Zard, with your Expedition Zard and stuff like that. And I'm sure if we look up at the TCG Player default images for these cards, the holo pattern is going to match with them. If these were outside of, if it wasn't a terrible photo within sleeves and binder pages, and then a screenshot of that, which probably isn't helping its cause, we'd probably be able to figure out if these were the real deal, fake deal. But these are prime candidates. These Charizards here, faked many times. We've seen them many times on the channel here. If you've been tuned in, if you haven't, so just going back and looking at a lot of the there's a ton of videos on the channel about fake cards. There was that like storage unit. This reminds me of the storage unit where they had friggin' like the most ridiculous, they had gold stars and first edition base, and I don't know what. Oh, they had like the Pikachu illustrators. They had like Power 9, like fake Magic cards. There was that idiot Desolator Magic that like was trying to defend the fact that they were real cards and didn't want to tell anyone where the auction was because he didn't want someone to steal it all. Dude's an idiot. Regardless, that was a funny ordeal. You missed out on that one if you weren't there for that. He had a little freak out, a little tantrum, and we made fun of him for it. It was great. All right, so again, we got celebrations here. Seems to be the classic go-to. You can mix in the celebrations, so people like, they see a lot of real cards. They see a lot of, okay, we got some real cards, but all the real cards are not that expensive. We got the Dark Alakazam, again, another candidate for the fakes. You can see the border here looks not right. If we had a better photo of it, you'd be able to see that the printing was garbage sauce, garbage tier. But again, they're going to try and hide it in the photos. They're just like sneak them in every now and then. Sneak them in, pretend that there's a lot of value there when there isn't. But you can kind of even see the difference in yellow on the borders compared to the real cards that are next to them. If it was all fake cards, maybe it'd be harder to tell. But again, fill it out with the real bulk. Pretend that you're sorting them by type, I guess, is what they're trying to do here. Just kind of ridiculous. With the Halloween packs. Open some Halloween packs to go with my Lugia crystal. My crystal Lugia needs to be next to some Halloween packs. Halloween stampers. We get the first edition base Alakazam. So, yes, if they were real cards, this would be a absolute steal of a deal. But they clearly aren't. This is somebody that's trying to take advantage of other people. And if they were in an area where I caught them doing this, I would probably be, telling them to go meet me at a certain shopping center and record their stupid ass for trying to take advantage of people. Clearly, they know what they're doing here. They know they're ripping people off. They're looking for someone that doesn't know what they're looking at, but notices a couple of the expensive cards and thinks they're gonna hit the jackpot. All right, next. I just found out I own a pretty rare card and wanted to share the shiny beast. Very cool. We got the Call of Legends Lugia. Hi all. Used to be a very casual collector. Yesterday I decided to flip through my old binder when I realized I had a shiny Lugia. And upon looking up the card, I found out it's quite rare. I couldn't stop myself from buying an ETB, which will contain my first new cards in years. I guess I'm back to collecting for now. So yeah. It's a pretty awesome card. I don't know how difficult these were to actually find or how often you got these, but these are like the SL subset where they get the shiny Pokemon. Pretty awesome. Call of Legends in general was pretty awesome. They have those like the energies that have the silhouettes of the Pokemon on them, and the Call of Legends ones are holographic. So very cool set. It was kind of like a set to end off the era. I thought I remember hearing something about people didn't necessarily like Call of Legends at the time, but now kind of looking back, there's a lot of fancy crap in there, and I'm sure for that reason people like it. I don't know, cool set, cool Pokemon card, good one to have in the collection. All right, unpopular opinion. So we get a couple of these. I think people don't understand what unpopular opinion means because this is a pretty generic opinion. They say this card is incredibly bland for an alt art and the regular full art is leagues better than it. That's that is not an unpopular opinion. I don't know if is this the same Bismack that's in the Discord? It might be. Maybe. If it is, let me know, Bismack. I think we have a Bismack. Yeah, there's a lot of people that like the Arita artwork better than the Harada. I think they're both really cool. I think the Gengar Mimikyu GX here, more than anything, is just a really cool regular art, regular GX, if you want to call it that. More than anything here, and I can see the arguments. I mean, both very different styles. I don't think it also doesn't really do it justice to not have any of the texture or anything on the card itself. It's kind of like a I don't know, it's not a scan, but it's like the plain version. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah, not unpopular. It's a pretty common opinion. I've heard that several times. I'm sure there's people that think the opposite, but I wouldn't say that it's unpopular by any means. Next, we got Circle Burn. Yeah, if you guys haven't joined the Discord, get in the Discord. The link's always down below in the description. If you're not sure how to use Discord, it's okay. You'll figure it out. It's pretty easy. Once you get used to it, you can come in there. You can ask questions. If you have any questions, if you have news to share, if you want to hang out with other people that enjoy Pokemon. Yesterday on Saturdays, we have the happy hour chat, which is like a voice and video chat. If you want to find some people to open cards with, you can turn your camera on. You can open packs with us in there. It's a pretty good time. I know a lot of people enjoy doing that. But yeah, it's always different stuff going on, but a good time. Next we have, thanks to the sub, I dug out my old cards and sorted. Turns out I got the full base set. Bought the binder recently. Very cool. Awesome. So this is like, me as a child would think this is like crazy. I know the base set wasn't very big, but again, we were kids. I was pretty much like prime age for Pokemon when it came out. Right in around that like 10-year-old kind of prime in terms of like Pokemon interest, being the right age for it, the games, the cards. It was a good time. It was a wild time. I remember it being even hard to find booster packs in my area. It was just like, usually they were sold out. Yes, Base Unlimited got printed over and over again, and then eventually there was like the Base Set 2 and all that stuff. There was no first edition. We mentioned this last night in the Discord. First edition base basically didn't exist outside of the West Coast of the U.S., and I think some of it might have trickled into Canada, unless something got shipped over from anywhere else. For the most part, Base Unlimited was the only thing that existed. Yeah, there was no debate on whether or not you were getting first ed or unlimited or anything like that. We didn't even know it existed. Let alone like shadowless or anything like that. So as a kid, thinking like full set, like I didn't have the Charizard. We were lucky to get a single pack or two if we were behaving ourselves, and that's if they even had them in stock. So the wildness that would be an entire binder or having the entire binder, you were a spoiled kid if you had enough I guess allowance to either buy the singles to have the whole set, or to have enough packs to open the entire set. I guess you probably need like a booster box and change, maybe 2 booster boxes worth of packs in order to complete the set. If you were doing it by hand, maybe do some trades to finish it off. But back in the day when it was much easier to open a complete set, these days, most of them basically impossible, and that's even just with dumping a huge amount of money into it, as we've seen on the channel here. Going to be doing an Obsidian Flames release day opening. This should be pretty good. Plan is to open 4 cases, and hopefully there's less IRs. It looks like there's going to be less IRs, so maybe we can do it. Maybe we can once again recreate what we did with Scarlett and Violet base and open the entire set in one stream. That'd be pretty cool. Next, we have opened a pack I randomly decided to buy at a 7-Eleven during my trip in Japan, and they got an Erica Fuller. That's a pretty good single pack. You did well. Now, little reminder, guys. be careful buying single packs of, or loose packs in general, of Japanese cards, especially in this day and age. Whether it's from a shop or whether it's elsewhere, it just kind of takes one employee or one idiot to come in there and like weigh the packs, and be able to. The Japanese packs are very weighable. There's not that many cards in them, and you know, the weight difference is significant. So now with 7-Eleven, chances are they're probably not gonna be ripping you off, but you never know if there's like one employee that's like closing up shop, or whoever opened the box or put the box out beforehand decided to go through them. You just never know. I mean, there's not much harm in opening a single pack if you're feeling it. You're just feeling a single pack. Next post, we have another condition check. They say, received my first TCG direct package yesterday. Would you consider these near mint? Right away, I'm going to give it a hard no. These have a lot of foil on them, so them having lines, like print lines, or some like light scratches, yeah, okay, that's near mint. This is beyond that at this point. I don't even know if I would give this. This is another one of those scenarios where if I was selling this, for whatever reason, I would just provide photos of it, because, you know, it's, at this point, it's pretty subjective what you're going to call it. This is why I'm telling people, I get it. Trainer gallery is not expensive at this point in time. Reverses are not hard to find at this point in time in good shape. But this is why you sleeve everything that's foil. I don't know. This has always been worth a decent amount of money. So why you wouldn't sleeve this to begin with? I don't know if the TCG Player Direct, you can have stuff sleeved and top loaded or whatever, right? So I don't know why they didn't sleeve this. Again, not worth a ton of money, but at the same time, this is probably why a lot of these cards are going to be end up, you know, in good shape. Why these will end up being worth some money, because the artwork on it, awesome. It's a Pikachu. It's a Sleepy Chew. I've never heard anyone that said I don't like Sleepy Chew. It's a terrible artwork. I don't like the card. Yeah, and even on the back here, like this thing is pretty beat. Yeah, I'd have a hard time saying it was even light play, but at the same time, I wouldn't let anything that I open get to this condition. But if for some reason, like years from now, if I was selling this, let's say it's $100 for a near mint copy, or $200 for, let's get real wild. We're 20 years in the future. This thing is a $200 card, and I got to list it. And this is the copy that I bought. I bought a collection or something, and this is in there. I'm going to just list it. I'm going to put C images or something in the title. And show some photos where it demonstrates. You can clearly see the damage that's on the card itself. So that's what it comes down to. No, you probably, if you got this from TCG Player Direct, I'm pretty sure their return policy is pretty decent. I don't know. Does TCG Player Direct, do they select the? I don't know. Again, I've never sold on TCG Player, but I don't know if they determine the condition, or if it's the person that sends the cards in. I don't know. I'm not totally sure. Next up, pulled a pretty crazy error card. Any info on rarity and possible pricing? Never got anything like this. LOL. Hardy dog. That's a good one. There's definitely some miscut error collectors that are gonna be creaming their pants over this one. I can tell you right now, anytime anyone pulls anything like this, regardless of the Pokemon, if it's not a popular Pokemon, I mean, Chi-Yu is not the least popular Pokemon. It's not like a trainer card or something like that. You can be pretty certain when something is this miscut that it's at least $100 bill. If you list it and wait around and find the right buyer, surely there's somebody that wants this, just because of how messed up it is. Even though, yes, we've seen quite a few of these this day and age, people know to set them aside because they have value to someone, versus maybe back in the day, someone pulls this and they're like, what the crap is this? And they throw it out, or they just stick it in with the rest of their bulk or whatever, because they don't realize that in the future, there will be people, I don't know, like when, I feel like there's been more and more error collectors and stuff like that have emerged, miscut error collectors of all kinds. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good pull. That is Probably one of the most expensive Chiyu EXs. The regular ones anyway, 40 out of 193. Probably more than the Alt-Art of the SIR. Next, maybe unpopular opinion, but I really like this Giratina. Guys, please, can we please understand what unpopular means? I mean, you get opinion because this is an opinion, but I've never heard anyone at any point say Giratina Prism Star they don't like it. I don't know if anyone's ever said those words. Ever. So it's not an unpopular opinion. That's just an opinion. You could just say, like, I really like this Giratina, even though it doesn't get much attention, I guess you could say. There aren't many people that are posting about it. I know people don't love the Prism Stars, but I've always liked this Giratina and it seems to be underrated. Curious to know what others think. I think this is also just a false statement. I don't love. No, they're not the new thing, so they're not like super popular or anything like that. It's another one of these like side gimmick cards, whether it's break cards, whether it was like amazing rares and all that other stuff. They're not the main attraction from a set. And also they're at this point kind of non-existent. There's a lot of people that are new to the hobby that probably don't even know that Prism Stars exist, or that you can only play one per deck, or that they were like a powerful, cool thing that you can add to your deck. And for that reason, you were only allowed to put one in your deck. But yeah, I don't think there's not really, I've never heard, I don't think I've ever heard anyone that was like, didn't like Prism Stars, that like vocally did not like them to the point that they had an opinion, in that direction. Now, are there a lot of people that ignore them? Sure. There sure are. Next post, pulled from the one Lost Origins pack in the Annihilate EX box. Man, I don't know what it is. I think it's just we've had so many sets with like Origin with an S on the end of it. I don't know if it's like Ancient Origins that is causing the Lost Origin. Everyone wants to put an S on it. There's a few sets like this. I don't like, guys, the set Lost Origin has been out long enough that we should know that there's no S on the end of it. Please, can we get the set name right? Regardless, that's a side note here. So Annihilate EX box, that is a good Annihilate box, and if you could somehow reproduce those results, you should open 1 million Annihilate boxes. Again, 4-pack. A lot of people like to say like, oh, the promo boxes, they suck, or they're awesome, or this is the prime example of like confirmation bias fuel. That is the you know, you get a big banger in 4-packs. In 4-packs, you should get pretty much nothing. I mean, maybe can't remember what other packs are in there. I guess because they're all like Trainer Gallery. I think there was Scarlet, Violet Base, and Paldea and Lost Origin. So I mean, you got all sets that have like a Trainer Gallery or an extra set or an extra chance at pulling something. So you're probably gonna get one hit, and that's like a V or Trainer Gallery or better, in those 4-packs, and that's not guaranteed. You could easily open those 4-packs and get absolutely nothing. Well, I mean, you're gonna get holos because that's how Scarlet and Violet rolls now. You at least get a holo, but you could get nothing from 4-packs very easily. Or there's a chance you pull the Giratina V alt art, and you feel like $1 million bucks. But just keep in mind, guys, sample size. You can go anywhere. Even if you open 40 packs, you can get nothing, or you can just pop off. It's a thing. Probability. Wild. Next, we have another similar post. Picked up a few packs of Chilling Reign at Best Buy and hit 2 out of 3 in a big way. That is, to hit those 2 in 3 packs, again, that's an anomaly, and this is not what should be expected. Your Chilling Reign is like 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 packs to get a V or better, let alone like an alt-art that's probably every 2 or 3 boxes. Gold card, the Snorlax especially. I just purchased this recently, and it is expensive. So that was a crazy 3 packs. You're probably not going to do that again, if I had to guess. The Articuno, the Snorlax. I never really, man, you guys that are opening in your car that can't wait till you get home. I don't know if you're trying to hide it from the significant other that you're buying Pokemon cards, or the patience is is really lacking. You got to get your fix. You got to get in there and you got to open it in the car. Personally, I've never done that, never felt that. I usually try to avoid it. I guess at least he's got the sleeves. He's got the sleeves ready in the car for the, I know some people swear by it. They got the best luck. Car pack openings are the luckiest openings. But yeah, I don't know. Best Buy, probably not the greatest spot in terms of like pricing for the stuff either. Again, you should be on psapikachu.com or dosecards.ca, buying your packs. And then buy them in like products that are going to, I guess, make them the most affordable. And it depends. Like this is like the instant gratification to the max. You're buying them from Best Buy, probably paying a premium on them, and then also you got to open them right away in the car because also instant gratification. It's a lot of, if you pre-plan, then you probably get a better deal. That and pricing stuff out and trying to find, again, I don't recommend going into like the sketchiest of sketchy websites and finding the absolute lowest price, because then there's a chance that you're just not going to get it. You got to charge back and make sure you're paying with a method. You can get your money back if you are buying from those sketchy websites. I know there's a lot of posts and a lot of people that are like, oh, look, this website, they got the sweetest deal. And it's like the jankiest, like sketchiest crap you've ever seen. It's priced low and it's like, am I going to get it? Is it actually coming? Personally, I don't think it's worth the headache to save a couple dollars off a box, off the booster box or something like that. But, I mean, if that's maybe that's part of the fun, part of the rush. Last post, we have one by Damon 86. He says the Charizard card has had 4 different backgrounds now. Damon, I don't know. This couldn't be more wrong. I don't think this could be more wrong in existence. So like, you made like this reminds me of the infographics with like pull rates. It'll be like, we opened 500 packs of this brand new set, and these are the pull rates on all the individual cards. They're like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Stop sharing it, people. Please, for the love of God. The sample size that you need for individual pull rates on individual cards is so large. It's so large. Look at my Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies pull rates. I opened over 3,700 packs, and there were still cards that we didn't pull at least once. So, no, you can't tell me what individual card pull rates are. You can, per rarity, probably get a pretty good idea of which ones are which. And then if you wanted to extrapolate that way and say, okay, well, the odds of getting like an alt art are this in this many packs, sure. And you want to say that they're all equal, even though you haven't pulled one, you pulled multiple of another. That doesn't mean anything. You need like 100,000 packs of these modern sets to even to start claiming that a certain card is a certain pull rate. There's probably some statistician that can like tell us the exact number based on how friggin' crazy some of this stuff is to pull. And yes, I mean, no, the certain rarities are not that crazy to pull, but the individual cards to pull all of them, each individual possibility is nuts. Now, back to this. Base set. So we're already missing base set 2. You got the test print Disco Dog 69, the ones that were kind of like taken from work, given out. These were all hand cut. I personally know somebody that has Ninetales, and their friend's dad worked at the facility. They got to bring these home. These are like test prints. They didn't have, it's the exact same foil and whatever. And they were chopped up and given to the kids to have something to play with. Yes, so you got that one, but you're missing, I mean, you're already missing your base set 2, which has the Cosmos Hollow pattern on it. Then we're missing like Evolutions. We're missing I guess the Celebrations is also different. I mean, they're all the same background pattern. They're just going to have a different like foil treatment or whatever. We're missing the non-hollow version. Was there a base set 2 and a legendary collection? Legendary collection as well. Man, there's a lot missing here. There's way more than 4 different ones. Evolutions, I guess we're missing here too. But yeah, come on, Do the research if you're going to make an infographic. Please, guys. You're killing me with this stuff. Regardless, thank you for anyone that watched this ridiculously long, oh my god, it's 45-minute video. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. Join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.